Hello boys and girls and welcome to your first bass lesson. I am your teacher, Mr. Headman, and I am here to guide you through the basics of bass playing. So without further introduction, here it is, our work tool, an electric bass guitar. This individual is called a jazz bass, which is slightly different from its predecessor precision bass that was invented a couple of years earlier in the beginning of 1950s. The main difference between precision bass and jazz bass is the position of microphones and jazz bass's slightly thinner neck that makes it a bit lighter for hands to play. Electric bass has 4 strings, just like its ancestor violin bass, or double bass if you like. The role of electric bass is to play lower register notes in orchestras or a band to support the harmony section, while at the same time playing rhythmic patterns. Comparing to electric guitar, bass strings are thicker and the neck is longer to enable the produce of lower notes. This one has 21 frets, or at least it should have. If it was fretted, this one is fretless bass, but practically it's the same. So it would have 21 frets, which is a custom in jazz and precision basses. The strings are attached to machine heads in the top of the instrument from one end and to the bridge from the bottom end. Strings are called E, A, D and G, where the E is lowest, then A the second lowest, then D and G being the highest of open strings. So the tuning is same as the 4 first strings on guitar. This part of the neck where the strings lay against the wood is called fretboard. The name comes from the metallic frets that separates the notes from one another. Just the same way as piano has white and black keys to demonstrate a 12-tone scale, frets play the same role on fretboard. Tones advance chromatically, first fret on E string being F, second being F sharp, third being G, and fourth being G sharp, and so on. Just like in piano, you get the idea, I'm sure. The playing position of bass differs a bit depending on whether the player is standing or sitting, but the main points are that the head of the instrument should be in the same level as your shoulder, and the thumb of your fretboard hand should be positioned right in the middle of this brown line in the back of the neck. This gives you an optimal range for your fretboard fingers to reach the notes without straining your hand or palm too much. Your other elbow should rest nicely on top of the body, while thumb resting on the top of the microphone, like this you see. However, while playing on the higher strings D and G, your thumb should rest on top of the E string, like this. Strings are usually played by the index and middle fingers of your right hand, but also in some pop genres with a pick or even with thumb in funk. Different kinds of playing techniques create exotic effects on playing. Let's now look at the mother of scales called C major scale. That is the most important scale in your life that you are ever going to play. That's because in a notation picture, C major scale has no sharps or flats to distract you and is in that sense easiest scale to master. After absorbing C major scale, everything advanced that comes in music theory is compared to this very scale. C major scale starts from the 3rd fret of A string with your middle finger. Then comes little finger to the 5th fret of the same string. After this, you place your index finger to the 2nd fret of the D string, which is the next string while going higher. Then take your middle finger off from the 3rd fret of the A string and place it next to your index finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. Then place your little finger on the 5th fret of the D string, right below the point where it just was. Then place your index finger on 2nd fret of the G strings, your ring finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and finally your little finger on the 5th fret of the G string. And there you have it, a C major scale, which is the same scale that comes from the white keys of the piano played from middle C to octave higher C. The notes are called C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again, octave higher. So here it was, your first bass lesson. I hope you learned something new today. See you all and have happy holidays. Bye.